Making the cut, episode 4. Uh, I was not very happy with this episode. All season long, our designers have been given ample time. They've had access to seamstresses, and the whole idea was to, see what they could produce as designers. This wasn't a competition to see who the best seamstress was, not a competition to see what your sewing skills are. This was a design competition. And then we get hit with this episode where we had a massive time crunch and our designers lost all their access to all their seamstresses. I just don't think that is a fair representation of what a lot of these people can do. Now, in the end, I think the result is about what we all expected. We saw Will and Troy get sent home today. They just haven't really shown anything to us. And I really felt that, particularly with Troy, his idea and thought in his head did not get translated to what walked down the runway. He's in the design room. He's describing what he wants to Tim Gunn, and I'm thinking, oh wow, actually, this is a pretty solid idea. A nice fitted coat, which is not what we saw. We saw like an oversized baggy coat walk down the runway with an oversized sleeve, and like even his drawing, you could see a nice little shape right underneath the arm, and on the model it was just one just blob, really. And then on top of that, he just wings it with this dress underneath that was a total failure. Like, the dress underneath did not have to be spectacular, but it shouldn't have just been that was basically a Halloween costume. He took a piece of fabric, cut a hole in it, put it over the arms, and it's just like a triangle just hanging down. That was it. Like, what? Sewed a little bit, done. That is just not good enough. 7 hours or not. I think that if the focus had been, perfect that jacket, which it just wasn't perfected, and, throw on a basic shirt and a skirt underneath, he probably stays. He'd probably here another week, and we probably understand what he is a little bit more. And I feel that given more time, given the full 3 days that we normally get to see, that Troy probably executes a significantly more well refined garment. And while I don't disagree with him going home at this point, because really we just haven't seen anything enough from him all season long, I do think that it's an unfair way for someone to go home. Now, same story with Will. I don't think that his idea on this design that he sent down the runway today was very good. It was just felt very cheap. That's the word I'm going to go with. Cheap. Didn't feel high fashion. It felt like some pants you'd get at a Halloween store, and then a nice-ish top with some weird scarf hanging off the side. And the critiques he got was, his taste is just not there. He might be good at draping. He might think that can sell that luxury design, that high fashion design, but we did not see that from Will at all this season, and I don't feel bad about seeing Troy and Will go home at this point. Okay, let's get on to our top looks. I did not get it today. Like, obviously not a huge fashion buff, but most of the time you see that dress walk down the runway and you just think, wow. Maybe I can't articulate why it's incredible like the way our judges and the professionals can, but usually you have that wow. So I'm sitting there watching with my wife. We see Johnny's walk down the runway and just thinking, what a disaster. The stripes aren't lined up. The top little bit, I don't even know what that was, with like totally a semi attempted different spacing on the stripes, made no sense, looked out of place, and I was shocked that that's our winner for the day. My personal favorite was Sander today. I totally understand that of him not winning because it just the look wasn't very accessible. But I think we're learning about Sander that most of his looks aren't going to be accessible. Like he likes to go for it. He likes to dream big. And I don't totally know that the paint was necessary today. It did look cool, but I think that may have ended up being a factor for him not winning. I loved the folding over of the fabric, the blue hits. I just thought it was a fantastic garment, and like he didn't even get it. He didn't even get a critique. I wish he would have at least got a critique. Our top two end up being Megan and Johnny. So Megan's design didn't, it was nice, like nice, well made, looked great on the model, but there was nothing there that you can't go to a random department store and find something similar. Like it's there. Like we're not talking about going to a high-end fashion place, luxury design, couture. No, we're talking go to whatever, go to Winners, go to J.C. Penney. Doesn't matter. Walk in there. Somewhere in that store, they've got that top or something similar. And to me, that should not end up being a top look in a design show. Just shouldn't. Like they look nice on the model, but there's nothing design wise there. So that's my thoughts on the episode. Next week we are moving to Tokyo. It looks like there's going to be a streetwear challenge, which could have some interesting results. I'm very interested to see how Sabato and Sander do on the streetwear challenge. Doesn't really seem like their aesthetic, their style. Even Renat, I'm not really sure where she's going to land on it, but from the brief glimpse of the looks that we got in the preview, it looks like most of the designers do fairly well at this challenge. All right, that is it for this week. We will be back next week. I'm assuming we get another 2 episodes. If you liked the dresses you saw in either episode 3 or 4 or the 2 from last week, they are available on Amazon now. And the way I find the dresses is I search for Making the Cut store. Don't just search for Making the Cut. I make sure it's Making the Cut store. Takes you to a landing page where you can scroll down and see all the winning looks or looks selected by the Amazon fashion team to be sold on Amazon. So yeah, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Excited to see what happens from here. And yeah, come back next week and you can see some boring white dude talk about fashion. See ya.